Hey, I'm Tom,
And I'm Josh.
and this is the BlockCast.
We're Lego fans. Click.
The yellow delivery truck's back. You know what that means.
I don't know. What does it mean?
New sets!
I know.
Yay!
Hey. Wait,
Welcome to
is it
May.
yay?
No, it's gonna be May.
Oh, it's yay May.
Yeah.
May. Yay.
Yay! Hello and welcome back. We appreciate you all being here. I still think there's 83 of you, so we greatly appreciate it.
Why still 83 though?
I don't
I don't
know.
understand.
Tell your friends, tell your family, force them to watch. But we're gonna
The
be talking.
Force. That's a good introduction though, isn't it?
Mm,
Force them to watch. Force was
mm,
the Force.
I, mm.
May the Force
Oh,
be
that's
with you.
right. Oh,
Ah.
Revenge of the Fifth. See, we try. We please don't click away. Please, just click the like button. Today we are talking about the newest sets that are coming to Lego for this month, which is the month of May,
Hey.
2025. So if you're watching this in 2026, you've clicked the wrong episode. But thanks for watching. So today I'm going to go ahead and get my screen shared up with you so you can take a look at what we're going to start with today. But we have a couple sets that we picked out that we're interested in looking at. Some of it is good, some of it is bad, and that's okay, I think. Let's see.
But one way or another, there's something for everybody.
Correct. Exactly. And we're sharing.
We're
Everybody should
sharing.
be able to see.
I see it all right.
All right. So we are currently looking at our very first set that we are reviewing today, and it's the Avengers Endgame Final Battle. It is $99.99. It's for people ages 10 and over, 621 pieces, 650 insider points. Set number 76323. And boy, Josh, I've seen this set before, and I just can't place it. Where have I seen it? Hmm.
I think you saw it on the movie
Hmm.
screen back in 2019 when Endgame came out in theaters,
I don't know if
right?
that's it. I'm
Well,
talking and referring to Lego. Where have I seen this before?
I don't know. We'll have
I
to dive
know.
deeper into that.
I know where I've seen it, Josh. I know. Avengers Endgame. No, excuse
Okay.
me. Avengers Age of Ultron. You know that battle scene where they're busting out the forest with the really cool trees with the snow that we covered a long time ago? Go watch that if you haven't. Boy, does this look similar, and I think I've seen sets like this before. If you're interested in a future episode, Josh and I are going to cover at length, potentially, where this set has come from and how it's developed over the course of time. Josh, thoughts on this set as it stands for the month of May? Did you know that
Well,
Endgame came out almost 5 years ago?
six years ago
Six
now.
years ago.
Yeah. Time flies, and now we have Thunderbolts asterisks in theaters. It's an exciting time to be a Marvel fan, unless of course you're going to the Lego aisle, because this set is oh, not one of the stronger sets. Now, granted, you get a lot of minifigs. With this set, we have Doctor Strange, we have Wanda, Spider-Man, Falcon, Ant-Man, Iron Man, Black Panther, Thanos, a Chitauri soldier, and Captain America. So you do get a lot of minifigs. You get some portals, which is cool, I guess. But at 621 pieces for $100, you're coming out to over 16 cents per piece. And unlike the Age of Ultron set, there isn't a lot else. More so, this set looks like a display stand for the minifigs rather than an actual scene from the movie. And it's
Did you know you could press that black piece and make the wall fall over? Whoa!
yeah, that's
This is why
the
this
range
set.
of minifigs
This is
is
why.
nice.
At the end of the day, and we talked about this with Age of Ultron as well. It's the minifigs.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's the same reason with Star Wars that they release certain sets that just have no components to the elements of what you're actually playing with. Does it give you any end battle scene feel? No. If they really wanted to do this, they'd release a set for $400, just like a Starship for Star Wars, where they're going to release the $1,000 set, and people would pay for the entire diorama of the end scene of Avengers Endgame if you put the details in. This is to sell
Yes.
minifigs. That's fine. That's perfectly
Yeah.
okay. And to be honest, if you collect Marvel minifigs, this is an excellent scent for you. To be honest, they're probably squeaking a little bit more away money wise in terms of doing this over another CMF series because Marvel line had stopped at Series 2. They have not come out with a Series 3, which to be honest, they have a ton of characters. Marvel has hundreds, if not thousands, of characters to choose from, but they stopped the Marvel line at number 2. But that's probably, partnership and what have you. This is a display scene, but to be honest, I think people are going to collect this for the minifigs.
Yeah.
That's what it's
Because the display, whereas Age of Ultron had a lot of great dynamic energy of characters going in different directions. Here we have Thanos in the center, and all of the characters are coming out behind him. There's really no give and take of the heroes versus the villains in that iconic scene where they're rushing at each other. Um, the Age of Ultron set has that more so where it feels like a battle and not just here's a bunch of characters standing around. Um, if it is, if that's the intention here, I do feel like they may have missed the mark a little bit, and just how the set is set up. The portals do look good. They're
it. It's the thing that always gets me though, and we'll touch on this in another episode and go into more detail about it. It's interesting how from one set to another to another to another that the characters change minus the minifigs, especially with Thanos and Ant-Man. This is like the fourth iteration of a large Ant-Man, and this time he's a Bionicle. But then you look,
this one's more like a mech, I think, than a Bionicle.
and we have Captain America mech and Iron Man mech, which makes its playability at the end of the day. But they probably saw this and were like, how can we make its own line? And then you've seen the sets with Captain America as a mech and Iron Man as a mech. It's more so the playability. It's just, and then you look at Thanos, and you look at earlier versions of Thanos that were released, and he's come out in minifig form. And we could also talk about this, that there are potential Fantastic Four sets where the Thing is not to scale in size. We'll talk about that in a future episode. But the thing is, that you look at Thanos, his blade is tinier than he is. But in
Yeah.
another set that's similar to this one, the blade is 3 times as big as Thanos. So it's the idea of maybe this is making it more collectible in that you have different versions. So it makes you want to buy this one over the other. In terms of the set and series, it's the idea that the cover can look good, but the content needs to be just as good.
Yes.
And in this terms, the minifigs are fantastic, but the supporting Lego and the supporting elements of that scene,
It misses the mark.
yeah.
And I think that's for fans of the movie and the characters, it can be a little bit disappointing.
Like there's
But
playability for the minifigs, but if you want like things to explode or like you have that one piece that falls over, but if I was a kid, I'd want things to blow up and have lots of action to it. Yes, you have other Lego that you can play with, but in terms of this, you're buying other battle packs and scenes, and this is already $100. So playability for kids, you're getting Lego, but you're getting minifigs, and that's it. You're getting the portals, but to me, the playability is here, but in terms of like having additional Lego to play on, is not here.
yes. And it's a worrying trend, I feel, with the Marvel series specifically, where it seems like the attention to detail is going down with each of these new sets. Whereas, Age of Ultron, it looked truly like they took a screenshot of the movie, built it into Lego form, and in that case, it looked great. This one, it just looks like they threw some elements onto a base plate, and then put the characters around it. And, you know, it's the price isn't getting cheaper. And the quality it looks to be is, which is a little disappointing. But the good thing is, again, you do get a lot of minifigs with it. So if this is a starter point for collectors, this gives their collection a great boost of some of the most popular characters. And for those of you who may be going out to hit the shelves this month, there's some other Lego options for you as well.
The one thing I wanted to, and this is me being picky again, Josh, where's the gauntlet? Aren't they all fighting over the gauntlet?
That is a good point. There is no gauntlet.
I just noticed that. That would be cool if you could have like a miniature gauntlet. Like his hands attribute that they could be taken off. And
Yeah.
you could have a gauntlet.
Yeah.
We have
I
no
know the
gauntlet.
gauntlet came with a different version of Thanos. It's not in this scene.
But it should be,
Huh.
right?
It certainly should be.
All right. I digress, everybody. At the end of the day, tell us what you think about this set. We're not trying to be we're not trying to be negative towards this. It's the idea that it could be better.
Yes.
If you like this, perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it in terms of being a minifig collector and a Lego lover. It's just not our preference.
Correct.
So, something that is our preference. Our next set that we want to talk about today. Yaha! Our old buddy Mario. Mario Kart, Mario, and Standard Kart. Meaning that potentially we could see upgraded carts in the future. This is for 18 plus. Don't know why. 1,972 parts, or pieces, excuse me. 1,105 insider points. Set number 72037. I think this looks fun. This looks good. Also, the one thing that I did mention, it's $169.99.
Yes.
The details here. It looks exactly what it's supposed to be.
Yes, I agree. And we've talked here on the BlockCast before about some of the other Nintendo sets that have come out. We've talked about the Mario and Yoshi. We've talked about the Shadow the Hedgehog bust. And one of the things that we've talked about with those sets is you're only getting the front. This set is a full 365-degree view of Mario driving his kart. It's got some dynamic energy in how it's on the base and that it's kind of tilted like he's going around a turn. The sculpting of his face, his bulbous nose, all looks fantastic. It's, you know, as Tom said, it's $170 basically. But for the number of pieces you get, it comes out to about 8 cents per piece. So for an IP value, you know, there's a lot of value there. It looks great. It's a great shelf piece. I think it looks like it's a lot of fun to build with some unique angles and things like that. This is a good set.
Yeah, I completely agree. At the end of the day, there is playability to be had here, and you can play with it. But you know what would be cool? If you, within the motor and not the motor in the back, but the false motor in the back, that you could put power functions and make this like a little RC car.
Oh, that'd be neat.
Right? That'd be pretty fun. This, as Josh said, excellent display. It goes very well with a lot of the other Nintendo themed sets. The
Bowser specifically.
Yep. The bulbous theme, for this instance, for this scale, fits these characters very well. It's flushed out, it's done well, and for me, I would buy this, especially I love playing Mario Kart as a kid, and I still like playing it as an adult. And with the new Nintendo Switch 2, apparently it's insane, and there's 1 million drivers now or something like that. We'll see. I don't know the full details on that, but it goes hand in hand in hand. From what we've seen from Nintendo before, a lot of the Mario stuff was okay. A lot of the newer stuff that they're coming out with is a lot more detailed and taken care of. It looks like Nintendo's really putting effort into their product in terms of partnering with Lego and saying, hey, we want this to look really good. And this looks really good. Displayability would probably get full points for me if this was a ULL. And at 8 cents a piece, I think that's fair for what it is, especially it being a Nintendo IP licensed product. So I like this set. will I see this falls in line with like what we saw with Simba from Disney. They're making
Mhm.
more of these themed sets in this nature, and I think it's very nice. Like we saw this with the black and white cat as well. That they're making it
Tuxedo Cat.
the tuxedo cat. That the roundness makes it more appealing, more friendly. It's not as rigid like with the Brickheads line. So I'm glad they went with this. It's more displayability. It's functional in terms of playability. His arms and his legs move too, so he's free form. So I think you can actually take him out of the cart. Um, Based on the title and the nature, it's Mario Kart or Mario and Standard Kart. So potentially you'd be able to stand him next to the cart, which is cool too. So I like this. I think this was a good decision on their part to come out with.
Yes.
Now we're on to our next set in a vast and far galaxy. Far, far away. Star Wars. Have you ever
Star
heard of it?
Wars.
Star Wars.
I think
The
I think we've
first
talked about it once or twice.
licensed IP with Lego. They haven't stopped building yet. Most people want it for the minifigs and the scenes, but if you wanted great scenes, hey Marvel, take a hint. But wait, you're owned by the same intellectual property owner. Please talk to each other. They build scenes very well, right? They're detailed, they're highly intuitive. People like to collect the minifigures, but also lay out the scenes and sets as well. I would love to see that with Marvel, the way Star Wars does it. But one thing that Star Wars, or they probably sat down and said, we need something for Marvel and we need something for Star Wars, and that was a sign.
Yes.
A
The
sign to
logo.
maybe not make signs or logos. We saw this with Marvel, where the minifigures came out of the Marvel logo. We're currently looking at the brick-built Star Wars logo. It is $59.99, 700 pieces, 390 insider points, set number 75407.
Well, um, again, we have to applaud Lego for being able to create the logo to look accurately like the logo looks, especially with rounded edges and things like that. It is truly, authentically the Star Wars font. Yes, just like the Marvel one was authentically the Marvel font. The color is right, the black with the yellow here. It again is correct. Uh, this one's cheaper than the Marvel logo, but that's because it doesn't come with any minifigs. It is simply the logo. Uh, Unlike the Marvel logo, though, you can look at it from any angle. If you want to read the words backwards, rats straw, you can turn it around on the shelf and see it from any angle. The Marvel on the back was just a block, basically. So Star Wars has that going for it. I think overall it does look better than just the square block of the Marvel logo. It is a little bit cheaper again. It comes out to about similar to the Mario Kart, about 8 cents per brick. There are some hidden details within the sign, which is kind of cool. I think would be a fun discovery as you're building it. But it is entirely just a display piece. It is something that you can put with your Star Wars collection in case someone was confused about what the collection was. It very clearly will now say Star Wars. And not a lot of playability, as I said.
You
Does it
could
look
put
good on a shelf?
boosters on
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I think so.
So what does this break down to price per piece?
About 8 cents.
Okay. So I like the idea if you're a Star Wars fan. I think it was the idea that I like the idea when it came to the Marvel sign as well. Josh is correct. It is the Star Wars font. It looks like the Star Wars logo. For me, it's the price point. At the end of the day, I think I would have less gripe about it if it was probably in that $30 to $40 price range. We're not going to get down to that price range because it is an intellectual property set. They're going to have to pay the licensing on that because if this was released, this is why the Ninjago sets, you got so much in the Ninjago sets, so detailed, highly anticipated, other Lego City sets as well. The reason being is that they can get away with it, that they're not paying somebody else to use their logo and imagery. At the end of the day, you're going to pay the $60 because you love Star Wars, but also the licensee has to pay the person that's licensing it to them, and that is Disney. That is Lucasfilm, which is perfectly fine. At the end of the day, if money does not matter, this is the set for you. This is an excellent design set where they took the time, made it creative. It gives me feels of the Death Star in between the lettering, especially the way they use the block and the build. I find that really fun, especially the way that the stories have developed. And the cool thing is there will be people that will come out with a lighting kit for this that'll make it even more epic.
Yes. And I've also seen mocks already, even though this just came out, of display where the minifigs are standing in front of it. You've got some of the characters, kind of facing out, and then above it, it has some of the ships flying out. So there's expansion potential to make this a really, really cool display piece. But again, then you're bringing in other sets, you're bringing in other characters, and that just compounds upon the price point that this is releasing at.
Yeah. But if that's not the matter, then this is the set for you, to be honest. I think it's detailed, I think it's well done, and it will add and enhance any Star Wars set that you have currently in your collection. Speaking of Star Wars, we're going to continue in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah,
with our next
it's
set.
May, right? So there's going to be a lot of new Star Wars sets. So the logo's one. Another one that's coming out is Chopper, the C110P astromech droid. For those of you who may not be familiar with Chopper, it shows that you don't watch Rebels or some of the other TV shows that have come out since that he has been a part of. Chopper is, first and foremost, well, a war criminal. He is a very feisty little droid. He's got a lot of character in the show, but he's also a lot of fun. And I think that translates here in this Lego set as well. Looking at it, you can tell he seems a little ornery.
I'm trying to figure out scale because you're seeing a minifig over to the left of him. So he's about 10 minifigures high, give or take?
Give or take, yeah. I think he falls into the scale line as the buildable Chewbacca, C-3PO, R2-D2, the BD-1. He falls into line with that line of brick-built droid characters. It looks like his head wobbles back and forth, which is kind of a signature trait of his in the show. And he's got the little arms that come out and kind of wave around. Think of him like an excited Kermit in droid form.
That's a great example. I like the detail that they did put into the chest rather than just making it round bulbous pieces like we saw with Mario. In terms of a droid, you want detail like this, and I think it's done very well. The only hope that I have, which I think if we zoom in far enough, we're going to see that there are stickers to this, that they're not print on brick. So that's okay. But at the end of the day, if you are a fan of Chopper, like I think I know someone is,
I think you might be right.
you could definitely add this to your collection. I think it's done extremely well. We're looking at a $99.99 price point. 1,039 pieces, 650 insider points, set number 75416. And what does that break down to per piece?
About 9.5 cents per piece.
This
one does come with a minifig. So we don't see Chopper in a lot of sets in terms of a minifig. I think he has only been released in one or two other Lego sets so far since his character has debuted. So that is the minifig alone for collectors is going to be something that they're going to be looking for, I think, with this one.
And people would, especially the one thing that I've learned about in the minifigure community exclusively, some of the most sought after, not necessarily valued, sought after minifigs are in the Star Wars universe.
Yes.
Marvel, I think, will eventually get there. They just got to put a little bit more detailing into switching up the body builds and the different scenes that these figures come from, because the moment you do, you create exclusive figures, more collectability, then they realize, hey, we can put more effort into the sets, and then it gets better and better and better and better.
Yes.
Um, our next line, I'm going to call it a line, our next set that we wanted to talk about and bring up are F1 collectible mini racers.
Ooh.
These are blind bags, from what I understand.
Blind boxes, yeah. So these are very similar to the CMF series in terms of the packaging that they come in. We've talked about the CMF series before. These can't be called CMFs because there are, in fact, no minifigures with them. But they are just tiny little Formula One cars. And what's interesting about this is each CMF, or again, I don't even know how to refer to it. It's not a CMF. It's a
collectible box.
CF1, collectible Formula One. Has a different design and that sort of thing. There's 12 different cars to collect within this series. Each one is $5 and comes with 29 pieces. So it's something that's very easy to pick up in the checkout line of the grocery store or something like that. The designs of each individual car or the build of the cars are all similar, much like a minifig itself is similar. What is different, what makes them collectible, are the accessories, the prints. There's different car types here. I saw there was Aston Martin one. I think I saw the Audi logo on one. The colors are different and that sort of thing. So you can get a whole series here. And for people who like Formula One, I'm sure that there's pretty good interest in a smaller version of the bigger series that have come out.
I just find this interesting. So I know that Lego at the beginning of the year has announced their F1 partnership, and F1, if you're unfamiliar, for those in the United States, granted those in the United States, there's a good number of people that know really about F1, but don't follow it. It's in Europe, it's humongous, has a huge following. So it makes sense that they partnered with this, and cars in the Hot Wheels and Matchbox area of the store, they still do well to this very day. Cars are highly sought after, collectible, buildable. The interesting thing for me is that they decided to go with a blind box, because if you look at I call it their mid-range series, because these are the low, then there's the mid-range where you can get the boxes, the F1 series. I think there's 13 to 20 something different vehicles, the different racers, but at a bigger scale for $25 to $40. I can't remember the price point. And then they're starting to make the full scale cars for $250 to $300 a set with the most amount of detail in the world.
Do we want to call them full scale? I feel like we can't get in them and drive them.
No, not full scale, but like full in terms.
But also $250 for a full scale car. I mean, that is a great value.
But in terms of like detailing, F1, I was surprised that they did come out with the blind box series. For me, it's the exact same build in terms of the pieces that you get in each set. There's no difference within the piece type, but the stickers are different and just the color is different. The $25 to $40 car has something very similar. Some of the cars are a little bit different, but again, stickers. So I think this is going to be a very niche collection in terms of like who's sought and looking for it. For me, I'm not going to collect these series. I think this will sit on shelves, and I think it will do well if it's sold at races, especially kids that are very they really like F1. I would like more uniqueness, kind of like what we would see from CMF, but with F1 racing, the cars are going to be similar because they have regulations in terms of how the cars have to operate on the track. So that's the differentiation, is that with Lego, at a larger scale, you could add more detail, but with these small, like very small scale $5 sets, you're not going to be able to add that difference like you would
Yeah.
in a $200 to $300 set. For those that like it, for those that just want to pick it up, I think this is an excellent way to get into F1, acknowledge it, and have fun with it. It's a
Yeah.
competitor to the Matchbox and Hot Wheels car, especially in Lego form. So I think it's a good idea. And also the wheels in this, I think, are pretty cool because you can now have different color wheels for different mocks that you'd want to do as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the expansion potential for this is really cool. Especially I can't tell 100%, but I would be surprised if these actually are stickers and not print-ons. Um,
If they're print on, then that's where it makes it more valuable, in my opinion. Is
yeah, I almost think that these are print-on just in looking at it. I can't tell 100% from these images. I think we would need to pick up a few of these to look at. Um, it kind of looks, some of them look like, I don't know. It's too hard to tell in these. But I would think that in the smaller packs and with how many different pieces there are, I would be surprised if there are stickers in these boxes. But
you got to go
we'll
out,
find out.
you got to pick one up. You got to let us know in the comments down below. Have you gotten one? Do you like F1? Tell us. We'd like to
Yeah.
know. But we're on to our final and last set. Please don't cry. We know. But don't worry. We'll be back in a future episode. Uh, uh, we are moving on to Keith Haring Dancing Figures. It is
Yes.
$119.99, 1,773 pieces, 780 insider points. Item number 31216.
So this comes out to the best value of the new sets, coming in around 6 cents per brick. And what drew my eye to this one, the reason I wanted to include it is because of how unique it is. Looking at the pictures, I truly cannot determine how it's built. It's so clean. The outline is so clean looking that it doesn't look like Lego, and it feels like an optical illusion. Now, for those of you who may not be familiar with Keith Haring, this is a style of artwork. Tom may know more. I believe it's very popular in New York.
Yep. So growing up, Keith Haring started as an independent, like graffiti artist, tagging artist, depending on how you verb it. In growing up in New York, I'm just used to graffiti everywhere. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. This was more considered freeform art than anything because it wasn't so much a tag, and a tag is somebody's made up name or thing that they're a part of. Keith Haring would draw figures doing a lot of different things. So I remember in the early '90s when I used to go in the city, seeing this in the subway, but like people, trying to copy what he was doing back in the '80s, right? But this became really prominent and celebrated as the city because it became an art style. So it was really cool to see this. The last time I saw Keith Haring art was I was up in Seattle. We went to the Museum of Pop Culture, which is on the former World's Fairgrounds for the Seattle World's Fair, and they had a whole exhibit on Keith Haring, which was really neat to see. But I was excited to see this. I know this very well, and I think the way they did this was excellent. Keith Haring. I think the colors are vibrant. The way they outlined it was vibrant, and I love the use of clear plastic brick to keep the accentuations of movement. I love that. That was so cool to me when they added that. I was like, that's it. Oh, excuse me, they're not clear, but they're gray. Are they clear? Maybe they're clear. But they're really fairly
They're clear
sized
from
as
that picture.
well.
They're clear.
It looks like the pink one, the arm like clicks in. So in certain cases, they use different building techniques. But this is also like I would like you could put these up all over the place too. It's not like they're solidified into one piece of art, which is really cool. And you can add more if you were to build in the same style.
And it stands out on a shelf. You can hang them on the wall. So again, there's some you can kind of take your own creative license with them. But I think it's a really unique piece, a really unique set that I think is a great extension of the art line. We've seen a lot of framed photos like Van Gogh's Sunflowers, like Van Gogh's Starry Night, like the Mona Lisa, but this takes art and brings it to life in a new way. And I think is a great next step for the Lego art line. Um, I really enjoy this. I
Yeah.
like this a lot.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think to the right person, this is going to do really well. It's going to sell in the right markets amongst the art community. I guarantee you it probably won't last on shelves for more than a year and a half, but for those that do get it, you're getting a great set. Are there too many unique pieces in it? I wouldn't say so, but the building style is something completely different. And this is probably my favorite one out of everything we've talked about so far today. But those are all the sets that we've decided to cover. Remember, there's going to be a little bit more, but we've determined that it's not necessarily what we want to cover today. But there's an important message before you go that Joss has to tell you.
Yes, if any of these sets catch your eye, if you're excited about any, or if you have thoughts on any of them, hashtag Adventures Endgame Final Battle, let us know in the comments below. Please like, subscribe, stay tuned to the BlockCast. We know that we'll be doing some ULL, Ultimate Lego Leaderboard
Board.
Reviews of some of these sets after we pick them up. I think that it's fun to look at them from before and just the images and get those first thoughts and see how it solidifies once we actually get hands on the set. So stay tuned to the BlockCast for more on that. And again, yeah, just like, subscribe, share this with your friends, your family.
Because if you subscribe, Josh, point out the audience behind you. We will physically add you to our minifigure audience. Josh will send you a couple examples of the minifigures you can choose, and then we will take your minifigure sig figure photo and add you to our studio audience. Go check out our Instagram to go check that out. And
we'll call it Minifig May.
Minifig May. Josh,
Audience April went so well.
It went. How did you do, Josh?
I did too.
All right. But yeah, so subscribe and you get to create the story, or if you really don't want to, we'll create the story for you. Yes. So with that, this was an exciting set. Not exciting sets, but these were exciting sets. I apologize. I can't wait to see what we have next month, so tune in, and we will probably see you soon. With that, my name's Tom.
And I'm Josh.
And you have been enjoying the BlockCast.
We're Lego fans. Click.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.